Hey, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We appreciate your patronage as a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber. If you are neither, please try hard to remember to link your Amazon Prime account, your Twitch Prime account. The instructions are in the show description below, and it's really easy to do. So please make a note. You've got to renew that every month or so. We'd appreciate it if you do it. We get paid and it costs you nothing. So a freebie, one of the few freebies out there. Take advantage of a free offer.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Kookanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
Okay, today's question from SIFTD from Cinetic. Recently, it came to light that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella's compensation is no longer tied to the growth of Game Pass. What does this say about Microsoft's confidence in Game Pass's success? What does it say about the success of the Xbox business overall? Is this kind of change in compensation common with C-level execs? Okay, until you asked the question, I didn't know that any portion of his compensation was tied to Game Pass, nor did I know that they changed it. So let me answer your question generically. Let's not worry about Nadella. You pay people and give them incentives to do desired outcomes. So if growth of Game Pass was the desired outcome, then you compensate people to grow Game Pass. If growing Microsoft's profit is the desire, then that's what you compensate it for. If growing the number of users of Microsoft services is desired, then you do that. If growing engagement is desired, then you incentivize that. So compensation is an art form that I'm not particularly good at, but I don't think changing the metric necessarily means you no longer care about the metric you went from. It just means you care more about the one you went to. And compensation programs can't be overly complex. If the employee doesn't understand what he's being paid to do, they certainly can't be at odds with one another. Let's say that growth of Game Pass was subscriptions only, and Nadella got paid $1 per user for growth in Game Pass. Well, why not cut the price to $2 a month and have 500 million users, and then he'd get a check for $475 million and retire? You know, you don't want him to do a bad thing that doesn't make sense from a profit perspective. So again, I don't know what his compensation was structured as, because I don't actually pay attention to that at all. But you want to make sure that you align the compensation with the goals of the corporation. And my guess is that they just shifted to a different metric that obviously will benefit from Game Pass growth, but won't put any pressure on him to grow subscribers at all costs. I'll give you an example. Netflix shifted from worrying about the number of subscribers to worrying about revenue growth. And revenue growth can come in a variety of ways. Obviously, a new subscriber is going to pay $15.49 a month, but it can also come by not letting people share accounts. And so the person who stopped sharing his password might bring in another $15 a month for the person that was sharing and likes Netflix. It can come from price increase, right? There's lots of ways to do that. It can come from advertising and lowering the price. So focusing on revenue is probably a smarter metric than focusing on subscribers, because it creates the right outcome. It causes the CEO to focus on the things that drive profit, and that's what investors care about. So I don't know the answer. I mean, I don't know how Nadella gets paid. I don't know that this is a statement about confidence in Game Pass at all. I can tell you that adding Activision content, if in fact Microsoft is successful in licensing it from Ubisoft, If they add it to Game Pass is going to grow, period. Imagine, and I'm just going to go with a crazy example that's not right. Imagine if Game Pass dropped the price to $5 a month, $60 a year. How many people would add Game Pass? Well, I can tell you all 25 million Call of Duty purchasers would, because $60 a year is cheaper than $70 to buy Call of Duty. And so they could drive Game Pass to 500 million subscribers by cutting the price to $5 a month. But that doesn't drive the right profit outcome. So again, I think maybe Microsoft looked at the addition of Activision as something that was necessarily going to drive Game Pass subscriptions, and they didn't want to pay Nadella something crazy just because he spent $60 or $70 billion. I mean, you just don't know. So I can't get into the heads of the compensation committee of Microsoft's board and know exactly what they were thinking, and I am not an expert on what that guy gets paid. Thanks for joining us as a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber. It's keeping us afloat and keeping Shane able to come back out here. I get none of it. You are just providing for the production cost to make sure we can keep doing this. If you are a subscriber or you are not, please remember to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. There's instructions in the show description below, and you've got to renew that every month or so. So please, if you haven't done it in a while, click through the show description and link it, and we'll get paid. It costs you nothing. It's free for you. Amazon pays up. Let's stick it to the man. Thank you. See you next time.